listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Goof On Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Goof On Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Goof On Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to Goof On, everybody. Yes, here we are on the eve of the UFO Congressional. It made me so sleepy. I've been sleeping the whole time. It was such a great and entertaining boredom that I said I was excited at the time. I was only kidding myself. What's going on? What are we doing? Why do we do this? They don't care. Do they? Or am I missing it? Well, I tell you what, you're going to join the show tonight. You're going to tell me what I'm missing. And we're going to discuss the Congressional UFO hearings from April 19th, 2023, 10:30 a.m. or 11 if you were here. Yeah, that was unbelievable what happened today. Unbelievable, unprecedented. History repeats itself again and again. We're going to use pie charts and graphs to show you how hard we are looking at this with scientific eyes now. We're not going to take these 600 cases. Well, look at 300 of them. Matter of fact, Well, I'm going to look at 60. Matter of fact, I ain't going to even look at them. I'm going to look at them, but I'm going to glance. Oh, yeah, this one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, check. AARO doesn't care. This was not pomp and circumstance. It was just for show. Maybe it was pomp and circumstance. For some people, it was all circumstances. No pomp. I saw all pomp today. No circumstances. Nothing was accomplished. I didn't hear anything that sounded fantastically new. I heard the same things that we heard the last time. And that is all we hear over and over and over. The minutia. We gotta make sure we do scientifically. Yeah, no, we know. We're gonna look at them and we're gonna look at these grainy videos because we just don't have anything clear. This is it. He shows us these objects from war-torn regions. So he says, Captain Kirkpatrick. He's got to have a last name of two names. He can't just take one name. Kirk or Patrick. Pick one or the other. Got to have two. Well, he was basically almost double talking his way today. Because everything he said, it was like 2 times hearing it already. We've already heard it all. Hey, by the way, The Way of Water was on last night. I watched it. It was really good again. I have to admit, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. 3 hours and 13 minutes of it. It was really good. The day I saw it at the theater, I was kind of under the weather a little bit. Kind of like now. So I got COVID again. I caught it again. At least that's what the test says. My energy levels are never like this, even no matter what, right? And even though I'm feeling better from the last sickness, I was just exhausted. I mean, it's so hard to get up and move and do anything. And then you have some energy. And as soon as you do something, your legs and you just feel like you can't even walk. So I decided to take the test. Took it twice. Positive. I must have got it at the gym. So I got to call my mom. I just found out before the show. I got to call my parents, see if they got it. So I knew something was wrong. Now I got to stay inside. Fuck. What's today? Wednesday? All right. Well, let's have you guys join the show. It's weird. Yeah, maybe I am. Yeah, this sucks, man. Yeah, I don't have any body aches or anything, just like the last time. It feels very similar. Just exhaustion. Exhaustion. Yeah, the last time I caught it was on March 10th. So, 5 weeks and 2 days. Back at it. This is my 4th time with it. All right. The gym's got to be a breeding ground. It's funny. People clean things before they use them now. I'm not doing it. I am just not that type of guy. I mean, it's very rare. I mean, there's, 25 people in the gym and, 3 or 4 people are cleaning before they get on and after they use it. But they're not doing anything really. They're not. I watch them. You didn't get every single inch. You didn't do it right. You're touching other machines en route to that one. I mean, it's so ridiculous. It doesn't matter. But it's the real deal. I've got some form of it, but the reason the show can't go 2 full hours, I have to get to the store tonight, and I got to buy some stuff. No, I already got that. I just, I've been sleeping all day, and as you know, but we'll see. I probably already had it a couple of days, maybe even 4 or 5. But the congressional hearing, let me check something here. I still have the video up from earlier. Oh, here it is. I still have it. Let's see if because we didn't watch the first 30 minutes because I was late. Hold on, I thought I had the replay here. It says 2 hours and 53 minutes. I'm 1 hour and 12 minutes in, and it hasn't, nothing showing. So they're not showing us the replay. Oh wait, yes they are. Here it is. Oh, we only missed about 15 minutes. So let's do this now. I'm not going to do roll call tonight. I just don't have the energy. I just love you all. I see you here. Thank you very much. Couple of super chats, I think, popped in. What's up, Valerian? I will throw in the link to the show in a minute. It's already up and ready. It's in my chat box, and it's ready to. All I got to do is hit enter and then pin it. So I thought Jeanette put one down before the start, and I don't know if that's true. It is true. There it is. 7:02. Yeah, I started at 7 on the dot today. I was supposed to. Oh, here it is. She says, a hearing will come to order. 1 hour and 53 minutes. I don't think we missed anything, but I want to make sure, because I think we missed 10 or 15 minutes. We're going to watch that right now, and then I'm going to have you guys join in the show if you want to talk. Get yourselves ready. You got about 20, 30 minutes. We'll go an hour and a half tonight. I'll give you guys an hour to speak your mind at least. I just do things a certain way. The build up, all that stuff. So bear with me and you'll have a voice, I mean, what else is there to talk about? Nothing. This is going to be great conversation tonight. So, Jeanette, that is the first super chat of the night. I have to say, you didn't have to do that. You did earlier too. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Jeanette Angel. I guess I'll start the video. A 10 pound, 10 quid super dono. First one of the day, a gosh! All over UFO congressional hearings. I don't know. But thank you very much. All over them. I thought it was better today. It was a repeat. I really enjoyed those charts and graphs, though. I mean, that and the stats, my goodness. Doesn't get much better than 8th grade. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to look at the positive, too. So, we're very critical, I am anyway, of this because it's something that's very important to me and to ufology as a whole. And I think we're just being played at this point. Anybody who looks at what happened today, and you may, please let me know if you saw something I'm not seeing. Okay? Because, we all see things differently from our perspective and our minds. It's just the way it is. So that's why I want to have this discussion with you guys. I want to make sure we're all on the same page going forward. Because if I'm doing this again, watching 2 hours of my life just tick away for no reason when I could have been sleeping, I really could have. I was. And thank you to Tim Freestone for waking me up and checking tonight again. I was already up, but I appreciate it. You never know. I set an alarm. But I was already up. And an alien girl I know she's not here. I'll mention it again. And I thought I should thank her again. I did earlier that she did come up with the link for this, for the video. I don't know why I couldn't find it. I was on the website and everything. It was just weird. Why? I think we know the answer. I've been Bidenized. I've started my decline. I am no longer strong. I am now weak. I am no longer confident. I am now just like you. I am no longer. I just realized what I said. Don't take it the wrong way. I meant that as a joke. Let's move forward. Thank you, Jeanette. I appreciate it. Mucho gusto, generoso. And I saw another one pop up. Hey, Don Mofo. What up? Goof on. There it is. That's a $5 super chat. As good as it gets. Thank you, Don Mofo, a continuing supporter of Goof on. Mucho gusto, generoso. Hey, Brian, thank you very much. $4. I like that. It's different. It's not 2. It's not 3. It's 4. Nobody does 4. I think you're the first 4 I've ever had. Beautiful. Hey, you know what? That might even be your first super chat of the night. Or ever. Yeah, well, thank you, guy. Thank you, Brian. We appreciate it. There he is. I see it, kid. All right. Thanks. Mucho gusto, generoso, Brian. Thank you, man. That was very nice. Very nice. I didn't even expect it because earlier today. But yeah, you can help support the show the same way. Super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App. All the links are in the show description, even on the About page on here. On the channel. On GoofOn, on YouTube, in YouTube, on GoofOn. Anyway, hey, we've got over 1.2 million views now seen on GoofOn. That's right. We're well over that million. We're heading towards 2 million. We'll be there in 5 years. I know, it's great. I just wanted to throw a number out. I saw it today. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe to GoofOn. Make sure you're subscribed. Some people say I can get a notification. Make sure the all button is also depressed, lit up, highlighted. You subscribe, it says, now, do you want to get all the messages? Some of them, why do they do that? You get some messages or you get all of them. It's the stupidest selection. Just say, I want messages, notifications rather. Or I do, or I don't. There is no in between. You're only going to get a little. How does YouTube know when to send you notification? Make sure you're on the all button. Hey, Lantonios. Who's got time for their Lantonios? Lantonio does. Throwing down $2. Hey, brother and fam, love you all. Send your love to Lantonio. He's been under the weather for a few days, maybe even a little longer than that, few weeks. We all know his story, so if you can, send your prayers for him to get well. But yeah, thank you, Lantonio. We appreciate that, as you know. Man, you didn't have to do that, but thank you very much. And you will be back in this chat room. You'll be on this show. And we'll be laughing when disclosure never happens. In 10 years, we're going to be like, remember that in 2023 when you said there was going to be no disclosure? Guess what? Still no disclosure. All right, let's play the video here. Thanks, Lantonio. Mucho gusto. I don't know what that means. Here we go. In 5. Oh, this is the beginning that we didn't see. So I'm going, hey, where is it? It's not showing up for me to share. Hello? I'm hearing me. Oh, here it is. Why did this pop up? That's so bizarre. StreamYard's weird. All right. Let me see if I can share this. Why it's not showing up, guys? The video that I want to play for you, it's not showing up. Can you let me know if you can hear? No, you won't be able to. Okay, we have a sitch. Why isn't this work? Okay, I'm just Holy crap. I don't want to lose this. Oh, I see what I did wrong. There. No. Okay. I'm just going to have to do it the way I did this morning, my way. Okay, so this is good. We did not see this. Here we go. Thanks for joining. The link will be put up in a minute so you guys can join. But what I'm doing is we're going to watch the first 10 or 15 minutes because we didn't see it today because I was late. And they were too, thank goodness. So I think we only missed 10 or 15 minutes. So it's about to start here. And while we're waiting, Chris Raj is throwing down a £2, 2 quid super dono. For those who don't know, a super dono is a donation with no comment or no sticker. It's pure love. It's magic. Chris Rogers throwing it down. Not afraid to show man some love.
The hearing will come to order.
Here we go.
I'd first like to
Thanks,
thank our
Chris.
witness, Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, for testifying here and in today's earlier closed session, and for his long and distinguished career, both in the intelligence community and in the Department of Defense.
Blech.
Dr. Kirkpatrick is the director of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution
Hey, we did see
Office,
this.
or AARO. Congress established this office in law to get to the bottom of the very serious problem of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAP. Dr. Kirkpatrick has a very difficult mission. While we have made progress, there remains a stigma attached to these phenomenon. There is a vast and complex citizen engagement, and there's also very challenging scientific and technical hurdles. So we appreciate the willingness of Dr. Kirkpatrick to lean in on this issue and the work that he has accomplished thus far. And we look forward to both his opening statement and his presentation of examples of the work AARO has done. In late 2017, media reports surfaced about activities set in motion by the late long-serving
Hey, that's not me.
Majority Leader Senator Harry Reid more than a decade ago. We learned that there was strong evidence of advanced technology reflected in the features and performance characteristics of many objects observed by our highly trained service members operating top-of-the-line military equipment. We learned that for the past 8 years, military pilots frequently encountered unknown objects in controlled airspace off both the east and west coasts across the continental United States in test and training areas and ranges. We don't know where they come from, who made them, or how they operate. As former Deputy Secretary of Defense David Norquist observed, had any of these objects had the label "Made in China," there would be an uproar in the government and media. There would be no stone unturned and no effort spared to find out what we were dealing with. We can look at the recent incursion of the unidentified PRC high-altitude balloon as an example. But because of the UFO stigma, the response has been irresponsibly anemic and slow. Congress established AARO. We made it clear.
It's not me.
That we expect vigorous action. We added very substantial initial funding for the office, but despite our best efforts, the President's budget for fiscal years 23 and 24 requested only enough funding to defray the operating expenses of AARO. It included almost no funds to sustain the critical research and development necessary to support a serious investigation. It took a letter to Secretary Austin from Senator Rubio and me and 14 other senators to get the office temporary relief for the current fiscal year. In this hearing, I intend to probe a series of specific issues. In the recent incidents where multiple objects were shot down over North America, it seemed that Pentagon leadership did not turn to AARO office to play a leading role in advising the combatant commander. We need to know whether this will continue. We need to know whether the leadership in DoD will bring AARO into the decision-making process in a visible way, and we need to know what role AARO will play in interagency coordination after the NSC working group disbands. In the fiscal year 2023 National Defense and Intelligence Authorization Acts, Congress established a direct reporting chain from the AARO Director to the Deputy Secretary of Defense. The role of the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security is limited to providing administrative support. We need to know how this direction is being implemented. UAP are frequently observed flying in extremely high or very low speeds and come in various sizes and shapes. During the recent shootdowns over North America, DoD disclosed.
Did you catch that? US UFOs fly at very high speeds or very low speeds. Nothing in between. Who wrote this?
Disclosed that filters on radar systems were adjusted to allow for detection and tracking of diverse sets of objects for the first time. While opening the aperture can overload the real-time analytic process, we cannot keep turning a blind eye to surveillance data that is critical to detecting and tracking UAP. We need to know whether Dr. Kirkpatrick can achieve the necessary control over sensor filters and the storage and access to raw surveillance data to find UAP anomalies. Finally, one of the tasks Congress set for
It's not us.
AARO is serving as an open door for witnesses of UAP events or participants in government activities related to UAPs to come forward securely and disclose what they know without fear of retribution for any possible violations of previously signed
This is where we turned it on, right
Congress
here.
mandated that AARO set up a publicly discoverable and accessible process for safe disclosure. While we know that AARO has already conducted a significant number of interviews, many referred by Congress, we need to set up a public process and we need to know where that effort stands. With that, I'd like to turn to Senator Ernst for her opening statement.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Dr. Kirkpatrick, for your testimony today. I'll keep these remarks very brief so that we have maximum time for your briefing.
Well, thank him after. Don't thank him before. I know, it's just formalities. Got it.
The recent downing of the Chinese surveillance balloon and 3 other objects underscores the need for domain awareness. Adversaries like China and Russia are working to hold U.S. interests, including our homeland, at risk. That's why your testimony is so important. And I so look forward to a progress update on the establishment of your office.
All right, we don't need to watch
know,
this.
your office
Let me go a little
evolved from the
forward.
Navy-led
Organized around 4 functional areas.
I want to make sure I didn't miss this.
Members of the subcommittee.
the DOD and IC own
Members of the subcommittee. It's a privilege to be here today to testify on the defense's efforts to address unidentified anomalous phenomena. First, I want to thank Congress for its extensive and continued partnership as the department works to better understand and respond to UAP in an effort to minimize technical and intelligence surprise. Unidentified objects in any domain pose potential risks to safety and security, particularly from military personnel and capabilities. Congress and DoD agree that UAP cannot remain unexamined or unaddressed. We are grateful for sustained congressional engagement on this issue, which paved the way for the DoD's establishment of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office in July of last year.
I got your all-domain
Though
right
AARO
here.
is still a young office, the spotlight on UAP in recent months underscores the importance of its work and the need for UAP to be taken seriously as a matter of national security. All leadership that I've had the pleasure of working with, whether DoD, IC, DOE, civil, scientific, or industrial, view Congress as a critical partner in this endeavor. AARO has accomplished much in the last 9 months since it was established. The AARO team of more than 36 experts is organized around 4 functional areas: operations, scientific research, integrated analysis, and strategic communications. In the 9 months since AARO's establishment, we've taken important steps to involve and improve UAP data collection, standardize the department's UAP internal reporting requirements, and implement a framework for rigorous scientific and intelligence analysis, allowing us to resolve cases in a systematic and prioritized manner. Meanwhile, consistent with legislative direction, AARO is also carefully reviewing and researching the U.S. government's UAP-related historical record. AARO is leading a focused effort to better characterize, understand, and attribute UAP, with priority given to UAP reports by DoD and IC personnel in or near areas of national security importance. DoD fully appreciates the eagerness from many quarters, especially here in Congress and in the American public, to quickly resolve every UAP encountered across the globe from the distant past through today. It's important to note, however, AARO is the culmination of decades of DoD, intelligence community, and congressionally directed efforts to successfully resolve UAP encountered first and foremost by U.S. military personnel, specifically Navy and Air Force pilots. The law establishing AARO is ambitious, and it will take time to realize the full mission. We cannot answer decades of questions about UAP all at once, but we must begin somewhere. While I assure you that AARO will follow scientific evidence wherever it leads, I ask for your patience as DoD first prioritizes the safety and security of our military personnel and installations in all domains. After all, a UAP encountered first by highly capable DoD and IC platforms featuring the nation's most advanced sensors are those UAP most likely to be resolved by my office, assuming the data can be collected. If AARO succeeds in first improving the ability of military personnel to quickly and confidently resolve UAP they encounter, I believe that in time we will have greatly advanced the capability of the entire United States government, including its civilian agencies, to resolve UAP. However, it would be naive to believe that the resolution of all UAP can be solely accomplished by the DoD and IC alone. We will need to prioritize collection and leverage authorities for monitoring all domains within the continental United States. AARO's ultimate success will require partnerships with the interagency, industry partners, academia, and the scientific community, as well as the public. AARO is partnering with the services, intelligence community, DOE, as well as civil partners and across the U.S. government to tap into the resources of the interagency. The UAP challenge is more an operational and scientific issue than it is an intelligence issue. As such, we are working with industry, academia, and the scientific community, which bring their own resources, ideas, and expertise to this challenging problem set. Robust collaboration and peer review across a broad range of partners will promote greater objectivity and transparency in the study of UAP. I want to underscore today that only a very small percentage of UAP reports display signatures that could reasonably be described as anomalies.
Oh no, I accidentally clicked on it. All right, it's time to get you guys here. I put the link in. It's pinned, so if you want to join the show, the link's been pinned to the top of chat. And let me pull the video back up. And this way, in case we need to reference something, it'll be here. What's this? Hey, it's happy birthday, Shelly Michelle Morrison. Are you kidding me? What a day. Happy birthday. You
Happy birthday to you.
are
Happy birthday to dear
older.
Happy birthday to you.
The second verse is better than the first.
From good friends and true.
That's all of us, sweetheart.
From old friends and new.
It's still us there, Rubberneck.
May good luck go with
Shelly could use it, hopefully.
and happiness
Two. Yay, Shelly Michelle Morrison, not the cat. Happy birthday on a very important day. Very nice. All right, all right. Another year means what? What does that mean to you? Shelly Michelle Morrison, not the cat? Nah, all right. All right. Well, you got a nice home right here, sweetheart. You need anything? Let Samo know, okay? All right. I'm messing with you. You always call. I mean, you can always email. And we got Moonlicked with $3.33 thrown this way to PayPal, wanting to say, this is horse serum. Although he didn't make it sound that way. He just said, horse serum. Thank you for the $3.33. It'll go a long way in the serum industry. Or something like that. And I think I saw Intergalactic Overhaul. Look at all those birthday wishes. Shelly, come on now. All your family and friends are right here. Forever. If you choose. If you choose to go against the family, well, I wouldn't be, there wouldn't be any other birthday songs played here. If you know what I mean. Oh, is that a threat? No, it's a promise. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to play the song is what I mean. What'd you think I mean? Oh, what kind of guy you think I am? Intergalactic Overhaul with a $2 says, bet he used Chat GB3 for this week as speech. Oh my God. I didn't even think of that. Bruh. I didn't even think of that. He did. They all did. What is really interesting to me is he didn't use a script. He didn't have a teleprompter in front of him. It was just, you better know your stuff if you're going to be doing this. He better know what he's doing, and he doesn't. He has no idea. Intergalactic Overhaul, thank you for the $2 super chat. Mucho gusto, generoso, continuing supporter of Goof On. Look at all of those people. You're awesome. Everybody's awesome. What a day. What a day. Brian throwing down another $3 super dono. Just throwing love out the window. It lands right here at Goof On. Well, you know why. Because we do truthology for ufology like nobody else. I love that we coined that term. Truthology for ufology. Who did? Dorothy? Was that you who came up with it? Somebody here did. We all, it was like a collective thing as I remember, but I don't remember exactly how we came up with it. But nonetheless, Brian, thank you very much. $3. Nobody does $3. That's awesome. They do 333, 222, 111, 123. But 3, that's almost like the 4. I like your style, guy. You know what else nobody puts down? 500. Nobody's ever done that. 500. No, I'm joking. Please do not. I swear to you, don't. It's a joke. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. All things good, throwing down $5 for the truthology for ufology. Today was historic. It was the second Congressional UFO hearings in 50 years, but we got a repeat performance. I did hear that we were putting the blame on China for these objects. And I want to go to that clip. I want to find it real quick while we're here, because that was the most, I think, the most important thing. And that was new. That was kind of new. So I want to go back and find that. And if anybody wants to join, the link's in the description. No, it's not. The link to this show is pinned in the chat room. It is. Thanks, All Things Good. That's £5. £5 super dono. It's pure love. All things good. All thing good. I said all thing good. All thing good. Mucho gusto, generoso. What a night. What a nice. Yeah, well, wait. Isn't Diane's birthday today too, or tomorrow? When is your birthday? I know you would, Diane. I'm joking. Please. I mean, it was a good joke. All right, let me find this. Let me know when your birthday is tomorrow, or we got to sing right now. All right, here we go. I'm looking it up.
Balloon. While when previously unknown objects are successfully identified, it is AARO's role to
what a
quickly and
night.
efficiently hand
Late
off such rarely
December
explained
back in 63 was a very special time for me. What a lady, what a night. Woo! Bam, 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 bam. La pentodenza ciubare cuscinote. Le cooperase con e chata no panai. Right? Isn't that the words? When is it? Mine was April 8th. You said, oh, I thought you had another birthday. Who else had a birthday? Somebody said their birthday was tomorrow or was in 7 hours when I was in Amy's show this morning. Who said their birthday's in 7 hours? I know it was a woman. I know, right? I don't even remember singing happy birthday 11 days ago, but I know. I'm sorry. I'm just making sure. Hey. Hey, Cindy Boyd. All right, let me look for this. You guys watch.
Explainable objects to the intelligence, law enforcement, or operational safety communities.
So at this point, he's saying where they're going to report these things to the proper channels or routes, as he called them, routes, right? Didn't he call them routes? No, that was my dispensary guy.
Further analysis and appropriate action. In other words, AARO's mission is to turn UAP into
SAP. Yeah,
somebody
thanks.
else's problem.
Somebody else's problem. God forbid you handle something. That's what they're there to do. This is all about, it's not about UFOs. It's about military grade weapons coming into our airspace with impunity. Apparently, it's China, as far as I can tell. They're putting the blame that way, it sounded like. So it's amazing to me. I enjoyed it, but I was very disappointed. Even though I enjoyed it, I was very disappointed. Who is this? Hey, all right, I got Dorothy here. I want to get rid of this real quick. Dorothy's chiming in. 3, 2, whoosh. Dorothy, how are you?
Hi,
Thanks for coming on and giving your opinion. This is going to be good because I know you got something to say for sure, and I'm very excited. So what did you think?
Well, I'd have to say, for me, it was singularly underwhelming.
Yes. Nice word.
Yes.
Nice, yeah. Very well done.
The ladies were so genteel, and their questions so without teeth. I was happy from the last one when they actually were like, what the heck is going on with you people, and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden it's this, oh, and would you mind? And would you, it's like really weird for me. I expect these things to be a little more interesting than that. I'm wondering where are all these pilots and all these military personnel whose lives have been upended by these things. Why aren't they in front of us? That's I'm really
well, right. I thought we were going to get those people in front of us because that's what UFO Jesus was. He's plugged into these people, really is plugged in. So I just assumed he knew, but I only heard that they were going to show the Mosul video, which they didn't, but they showed similar stuff to that Mosul orb in war battered areas or whatever. But underwhelming, and the women were very, what'd you say? What was the word?
Genteel.
Genteel. That is a good word too.
Very genteel in there.
Yes. I wish I had your vocabulary.
Hey,
oh, go ahead. Yeah, you were going to say.
And have to memorize everything in order to get through school, and you'll do all right.
Yeah,
that's how that happened.
So
memorize it all. But yeah, it really was interesting how little meat there was to that bone.
It was very blah. It was bland. Yeah.
Gary Nolan in his prediction that it would be another dog and pony show, it was less than that in my opinion.
It was less than that. And it was an hour longer too. And
it was funny, you thought you were so late and you were only like 3 minutes late into her public presentation.
Yeah, we really didn't miss anything. I thought it was about maybe 10 minutes max, 15, but nothing. Didn't miss a thing.
No, not really.
But
I tried to upstage me here, so I'm shifting my perspective. I share my whole life with my cat. I can't stop him from being involved, and he just loves to hug.
Oh, I love it when you or anybody has their animal on camera. Yeah.
He's a cutie, but he's a pest.
Well, that's good though. That's okay.
Yeah, no, I really seriously am wondering, where all these talking heads are so ubiquitous everywhere on YouTube and talking about all these fantastic things, and then we get to the hearing, and what do the Congress people hear? Very straight up PR BS. The guy didn't you think he was delaying and giving his answers? He was like stalling and, I don't know how they term that, but it just seemed like he was moving around and around the subject while he's thinking up an answer, and then he finally gets to answering it, like 3/4 of the way after he spent 5 minutes saying nothing, and then all of a sudden he's giving some little blip to the question that was asked, and it was like, wait a minute. I don't know. I just didn't really care for it very much. I wonder what other people thought of it, though. Maybe they were very impressed because they'd never seen anything much before. Who knows?
What did you think about the video?
Well, I still have the nagging question of, if we can see somebody's license plate from up in space, why can't we get a clear picture of these things? We have high-speed cameras. We have pinpoint focus down to, microns. Why can't we get any straight-up pictures of these things?
I heard, yeah, didn't Lou say there was high-definition video of a UFO 50 feet or yards from the cockpit of a F-18 or something?
Something, yeah, and it just seems weird to me that things that we're seeing, from their military recordings are looking so crude comparatively. Maybe it's just the nature of the equipment they're using that makes it get rendered that way, and it looks that way to us. Like you have to be a specialist to read the X-rays. Maybe you have to be a specialist to read these things. To me,
no
it was
way.
very, very. I don't know. I wasn't.
No, that is a interesting thing you said there, because I don't know what. Now, the only reason I can know what the heads-up display is telling me from video games I've played, because they have simulations that mimic what is being seen on these videos, but the video cameras, they also have high definition going at the same time when they're using these type of cameras. So they have the video, they have high def, they have the clarity of everything. That's why they can't show us those videos, because it's nothing, I think. They're all explained.
I wonder if they're not showing what they do have because they're afraid of scaring people still with these videos.
Like, scare them how?
Well, when we think of the UFO community, we think of, we're kind of a small community, right? And so the vast majority of people are just now starting to catch on to the idea that these things are real. Would it be still shocking, overwhelming to the vast majority of people in America or anywhere in the world? Because nobody's been paying attention to this in any great way up until the last few years here, I mean, there was a wave 20 years ago where everybody was paying attention. There was another wave 70 years ago where everybody was paying attention. Now we're on like the third or the fourth wave of raising interest in this subject. That's something I'm interested in, is the long-range picture of this whole thing.
There were little steps along the way, Betty and Barney Hill, and who else? Rendlesham happened in 1980, and then you have Travis Walton just before that. So there were things that happened. The Phoenix Lights in 97 and 2006 Chicago O'Hare sighting. Those things were newsworthy events. Everything made the news, which kept me interested, just like you probably. But nothing like a congressional hearing until last year. Within the 50 years before that, nothing. So I don't expect there to be them to show us the high definition stuff. I just want them to admit it. They got it. We've seen these things. I want them to explain it or get an artist's rendition of what they're actually seeing on those videos.
Sure. Agreed. Listen, I'll hop off and let the next person come on and spew their guts about what they
good.
About this.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You can always chime back in if you want to.
Thanks, Rich. It was
Thanks,
fun.
Dorothy. Yeah, appreciate it. Bye. Awesome. And Greg O'Brien is somewhere.
I'm here.
Hey, look at you, Brickface. How you doing?
Yeah, man. I'm just a little bit.
It's all right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry about that, man.
No, it's cool, man. I appreciate the wall. Actually, it's better than the circle or nothing. So yeah, what'd you think of this today?
I actually wasn't really let down because my hopes were never really that high.
Yeah. Me too.
It's a truth, and since when did the truth cost money? I mean, and you said it like a couple minutes ago or a couple seconds ago how it's okay if they don't show us this high definition stuff. I think I disagree with that, man. I think they need to, because they've been saying this the whole time. It's just, the same thing over and over and over again. So
why do they need to? Why do they need to?
Well, first of all, it's our money paying for it. And second of all, I think it'll bring it more push the subject away more forward and faster. I mean, if they can talk all they want. That's all they've been doing. That's all we've been hearing, and we're no better for it. So I do believe there needs to be some high definition footage and film coming out.
I think if they showed us a UFO, nobody's going to believe it at this point. They're going to say, "Bull, that ain't a UFO. It looks so fake." Everybody will say it.
Either that or it's ours. Either the footage that they showed is our footage, or you're right, because you get 60 different people looking at one video. You're bound to get 60 different opinions on it, and that's where we're at, I think.
But doesn't it go without saying that no matter what, the military has at least 2, maybe minimum 3 sources tracking everything that's going on at all times, from the radar guys and the guys in the cockpit of the F-18s, and then also command center, wherever that is. I don't know if that's, on the ship or some other ship, whatever, they have more than one camera on there. That's what I'm saying. They've got a lot of evidence. I'm pretty sure of it.
Well, that's why when I messaged you a little bit earlier on your show about how I think we're going to get the information from Space Force, because the Navy's the sea, and you got the Air Force in the air, and you got the Army and the Marines on the land, but Space Force is all domain. They cover everything all at once. So they're going to have the sensors in place to get this stuff, I believe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. The Air Force supposedly has the best video evidence in the government, because it's been said they have the best of the best cameras and everything when it comes to, UFOs and everything else. So I don't know, but we don't ever hear from the Air Force, do we? Do we?
No. And I think that was part of the plan to begin with. I think everybody was trying to point the finger at the Air Force just to take the attention away from the Navy. I think the Navy is where the meat and potatoes is.
It sure looks that way, right?
Yeah.
All the Nimitz, the Russell, the Ronald Reagan, all the stories. I think we're in a time where we do need to see something, though. I'm getting tired of these types of things happening where they don't tell us anything, or just repeat the same thing with one new nugget of information that they're blaming China, for whatever. That was the only new piece of information that wasn't said last time that I could remember, other than the pie charts and stats, other than that. But he said this is a slow process and it's going to take a long time. How do you feel about that?
That only means one thing to me: more money, more money, more money. The slower, they can, like I said, the truth doesn't cost money.
Job security,
and more money for them. And then who knows? And I actually believe sometimes that Gillibrand and AARO actually are run by the same people when at the sub basement of it all. So that way they can control the outcome as they please. Because if you had 2 separate entities, opposing forces, something actually might come out. But if you can control the information from both ends, you don't have to worry about it.
I'm gonna play a clip. Are you gonna hang out a little bit?
Yeah, I can do that, man, for sure.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
I turned my camera off so I don't vape this enlarged on camera. It just looks weird. So I'm gonna play this. Continue where I left off. I wanted to play the part where he said China is the problem, basically, but I'd have to find it just by luck.
These cases with the highest level of objectivity and analytic rigor. This includes physically testing and employing modeling and simulation to validate our analyses and underlying theories, then peer reviewing those results within the U.S. government, industry partners, and appropriately cleared academic institutions before reaching any conclusions. I should also state clearly for the record that in our research, AARO has found no credible evidence thus far of extraterrestrial activity, off-world technology, or objects that defy the known laws of physics.
What I wanted him to say after that was, but it sure is weird. I'd like to just say something that may be paranormal, but he's not going to give us anything.
Listen, I realize it's a learning curve because they're going to find information that's going to change the trajectory and way just like we do. I wake up one day thinking something, and then I watch your show or somebody else's show, and my mind completely changes. So I can give them a little bit of flip flop area, but remember how strong Lou was coming out? Oh, it's definitely not our foreign adversaries. It's definitely not China. It's definitely not Russia. So now it's kind of seeming to be flip flopping, and to me, this is all lawyer speak. It just keeps guessing back and forth. So that's just a little bit odd.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think when I said it's a formality, that's all this is.
Bingo. Great word for it.
A couple good words tonight came out of this conversation. Let's hear what else he says here. I think we're close to what I need. Let's see.
It means being methodical and scrupulous. It means withholding judgment in favor of evidence. It means following the data where it leads, wherever it leads. It means establishing scientific peer-reviewed theoretical.
And what about when he said SEP, someone else's problem? So we're going to figure out what these objects are and give them to the proper channels.
Space Force.
Maybe.
I believe that channel might be Space Force. Yeah, this is a great graph.
It is, actually. I liked it. Let's hear it.
On the far right upper corner, you'll see a breakout of the morphologies of all of the UAP that are reported. Over half, about 52% of what's been reported to us are round orb spheres. The rest of those break out into all kinds of different other shapes.
And I know it's hard to see the numbers here, but they're all about 2 to 3%, 2%, cylinder, triangle. I don't know. This one says spirit. Wow. Polygon. It's hard to see some of these, but man, yeah, it's spread out pretty evenly. So you got half of them are the discs, round orbs. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Are orbs round? That's interesting. Greg?
I love that. Because orbs can mean two things, or they have to define that a little bit better. Like the one we saw earlier today in the hearing. That little silver freaking ball. Is that considered an orb, or are we talking orbs being just straight up light with see through almost?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Let's hear what else he says. This was a good part.
Is essentially there's no data on what its shape is. Either it wasn't reported or the sensor did not collect it. The bottom map is a heat map of all reporting areas across the globe that we have available to us. What you'll notice is that there is a heavy, what we call collection bias, both in altitude and in geographic location. That's where all of our sensors exist. That's where our training ranges are. That's where our operational ranges are. That's where all of our platforms are. In the middle, what we have done is reduce the most typically reported UAP characteristics to these fields, mostly round, mostly 1 to 4 meters, white, silver, translucent, metallic, 10,000 to 30,000 feet, with apparent velocities from stationary to Mach 2. No thermal exhausts usually detected. We get intermittent radar returns, we get intermittent radio returns, and we get intermittent thermal signatures. That's what we're looking for and trying to understand what that is. Next slide.
You want to comment? I'm going to play the video. No? Okay.
No, not on this part, but just keep it rolling on. I do have a comment, but not really.
Excellent. Right. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is a good part right here, the video now.
So I'm going to walk you through 2 cases that we've declassified recently. This first one is an MQ-9 in the Middle East, observing that blow up, which is an apparent spherical object via EO sensors. Those are not IR.
What's up, Tony?
If you want to go ahead and click that and play it.
Here we go.
You'll see it come through the top of the screen. There it goes. And then the camera will slew to follow it. You'll see it pop in and out of the field of view there. This is essentially all of the data we have associated with this event from some years ago.
That is so
It
cool.
is going to be virtually impossible to fully identify that just based off of that video. Now, what we can do and what we are doing is keeping that as part of that group of 52% to see what are the similarities, what are the trends across all of these, do we see these in a particular distribution, do they all behave the same or not?
He's calling that
As
an
we
orb.
get more data, we will be able to go back and look at these in a fuller context. How are we going to get more data? We are working with the joint staff to issue guidance to all the services and commands that will then establish what are the reporting requirements, the timeliness, and all of the data that is required to be delivered to us and retained from all of the associated sensors. That historically hasn't been the case, and it's been happenstance that data has been collected. Next slide. This particular event.
Did you want to watch this one too and then talk after we watch these?
Well, can I comment on the silver ball that he calls an orb? Real quick?
Yeah.
Why is it flying so low to the ground? To me, it's trying to avoid detection, and that's a human trait. That's like a military thing to do to avoid radar, especially over land and water. So
Yeah.
I wonder if this is, because it could very well easily be ours. It could have like some kind of gyroscope in the center of it to keep it afloat. You remember those little gyroscopes you used to play with as a kid? You pull the string and it would stand up straight. And
Yeah, of course.
The centrifugal force would keep it up. So maybe something like that's inside there with a couple cameras, or who knows what could be inside there. But that's my initial thought.
Well, I want this object to stop on a dime and then make a turn. That to me would prove this is an orb, kind of what they want me to believe. That object's going 40 miles an hour, maybe 55, 60, I don't know, but it's nothing magical, nothing alien.
That's a great observation, man. Yeah, almost exactly what a satellite does, right? Just a straight line across and almost that fast in the sky sometimes, depending on the altitude.
But it was low. It was low to the ground, right?
Yeah, right. No, I'm just saying, you saying being, yeah, of course. But you saying, the straight line, to me, that just,
Oh, yeah.
like a satellite almost would do. So maybe it was observing. Who knows, man? And did it come back? Did it do a cross pattern?
Yeah, we only saw a few seconds.
Yeah.
And there's more. Huh?
This was in Afghanistan, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So that makes sense too. And I'm so stupid. What year was this? Do you know? I know.
Oh, let me see if he says it. Maybe 98?
Oh, 98. Holy crap. Okay, because I thought, the U.S. might have been in country at that point. This could have been, like a new drone or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Last year.
Ah, holy cow.
Middle East 2022. MQ-9 observed apparent spherical UAP.
MQ-9. What the hell is MQ-9?
I don't know. I don't know.
I wonder if that's a satellite observing, because, satellites are so great.
Sounds like a satellite.
Doesn't it? Yeah. All right. Cool. That's all I got.
Well, let's watch it. See how low it is too.
EO sensors. Those are not IR.
Oh, these are seen through different sensors. Electro-optical sensors, not IR, infrared. Okay, that's good to know. Interesting.
If you want to go ahead and click that and play it.
I did. Yeah, go ahead.
You'll see it come through the top of the screen. There it goes. And then the camera will slew to follow it.
Oh, that's going faster than I thought.
Pop in and out of the field of view there.
That was going pretty fast, maybe 100 miles an hour.
This is essentially all of the data we have associated with
that's
this event
fast.
from some years ago.
Could be a couple hundred miles an hour, actually.
It is going to be virtually impossible to fully identify that.
Yeah, that was
based
low.
off of that video.
All right, next one.
What we can do and what we are doing is keeping that as part of that group of 52% to see what are the similarities, what are the trends across all of these. We get more data, we will be able to go back and look at these in a fuller.
Did I miss it?
To see
Oh,
what are
here.
the similarities, what are the trends across all of these. Do we see these in a particular distribution? Do they all behave the same or not? As we get more data, we will be able to go back and look at these in a fuller context.
Data.
How are we going to get more data? We are working with the joint staff to issue guidance to all the services and commands that will then establish what are the reporting requirements, the timeliness, and all of the data that is required to be delivered to us and retained from all of the associated sensors. That historically hasn't been the case, and it's been happenstance that data has been collected. Next slide.
I put in the chat room for anybody who wants to ask me a question. I'm trying that new thing that it's a question and answer thing for the chat room. So you've probably seen it pop up. If you have anything you want to ask me, just click on where it says ask a question or whatever it says there, and I'll do the best I can to get back to you in a timely manner.
I have a question.
Yep.
He keeps saying, we keep getting all this data from the all these sensors, but isn't AARO pretty new? And I'm sorry, there's gonna be a train coming by. Sorry. So where's it going? Okay, yeah, he keeps talking about all these sensors, and isn't AARO relatively new? I thought they were low funded. So whose sensors are they using? Because they're not using their own. Because one, he already said they're underfunded. So how would they pay for the said sensors? And then also, they're already up in place everywhere. So I don't think they would have time to deploy sensors everywhere without us pretty much following or knowing about it. So again, whose sensors are they using?
Anybody's.
Everybody's, right? But so how can they have all this information then? They said we lack all this info, but yet these sensors have been collecting all this information and data all this time. But yet I don't know. It just seems phony as hell.
You know for sure what the reason here, let me do this. The reason they do that is to make it look like this is going to be a long-term research facility for UAPs, whatever they want to call it. They're not going to say we got everything we need. It's going pretty easy. It's going to make it sound like they're working hard. We got to do our due diligence. We're just not going to run across everything and itemize everything and categorize everything without doing our due diligence. We want to make sure we got everything where it is. We got to know what sensors are being used, who's using it, where it's coming from, et cetera, et cetera. And he's making it sound like it's this Herculean effort it's going to take. But really, I don't think so.
I like when Gillibrand brought up to him, she posed the question, can we set up some kind of link or information highway between the public and AARO so that way they could submit the public themselves? Because that's a whole lot of information in itself. I mean, do what you will, especially people are getting wise to this stuff, and they're actually starting their own little camps and going out with their own equipment, much like, in the way of ghost hunting. And since equipment's gotten a lot better for the UFOs, and we're learning more, like a radar detector. You can, if you don't have anything, and in your old school, and you have a radar detector sitting in your drawer, you can go outside with a radar detector and maybe try and triangulate some stuff that way. Pair of binoculars is something easy to grab. So and any kind of recording, especially phones. I mean, I hate to say, but I think the Androids or the Samsungs are like the best. Their cameras are amazing, man.
They're really unbelievable. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's only going to get better for us, and everybody's going to become a little bit more. And remember, you don't have to go out at night to see UFOs. You can go out during the day just as well and capture some cool stuff.
And I want everybody to know, go out during a thunderstorm if you can, because I think this is going to be key to catch some interesting things. Lately, people have been seeing things in storms, especially in Florida. I don't know what's going on here, but oh my God, tomorrow I'm going to show these new videos that are popping up, and people are seeing these lights. And I showed one yesterday. It was just phenomenal. Like it was stutter stepping, and it was bizarre. Like it was programmed to do what it did. It was bizarre. Tony, thank you for the £5, £5 super chat or super dono. Thank you very much for the love. Appreciate it. I was going to say something and damn it. God, it was good. It was important. It'll come back.
Hey, isn't it crazy? You talk about thunderstorms. Thunderstorms is what? Electricity and water. And what are we? Basically, electricity or water. Our brain being electricity, our heart being electricity.
Yeah.
And we're basically 70% water. So think about that. There might be some kind of correlation between the two as well.
Dude, that's true. And if you're really interested, watch the new Avatar movie, The Way of Water. It'll teach you everything you need to know about water. All right. Just being silly. All right. A couple of questions, couple of comments and questions are popping up. So, Making DO in chat says, this is coming in through the question and comment portion of the show that I just threw up in chat. Look up GuardBot. They are security drones. Oh, okay. GuardBot. I'm going to type it in, but I'll get back to you guys on that in a second. Okay, got it. Next question or comment, let's see, is from David Wilcox. Why is it always military-related sightings and never civilian? Well, they think they have all the data, and they think they have all the sensors, obviously. They think they have all the people that seem credible. They're going to say they're not drug addicts or people drunk or, people just living out in the bush seeing shit because they're on shit. That's why. They're only going to deal with what they call UAP, military sightings. That's it. And the next one is from Intergalactic Overhaul. He seemed like he telling the truth and trying, and I guess he's talking about Sean Kirkpatrick here, and trying, and his eyes look like he's catching a lot of grief from people. Do you think he will do the job, and how long? He has few employees and liaisons. Yeah, well, that's it right now, but that's what they're trying to do, is get the funding. That's what this is for. So now that they were underfunded, and now that they're going to say they have a clear understanding of what this office is going to be about, they'll probably get the funding they need and the employees and the liaisons for any information they need forwarded to them, transferred, copied, and all that. I don't know. But that's my... Greg, you want to add anything to that? Or
I just think that Dorothy hit the nail on the head when she said that this is in its third incarnation, basically. This is the third time they've tried to pull this BS, and we all know how the other two ended up. So, I mean, I was not jaded until I saw this morning's, whole press conference. I mean, it's got worse for me now, and it's just hard sometimes, man. Just, depressing. So we got to take it some other different way, maybe.
What is this doing for you as a believer?
It's totally, I swear to God, my belief system, it's all gone down. It really, say I was almost, at one point I was probably almost 100%. Now, 40% in believing. It's weird, and it might change tomorrow. I might go out and, get tickled by an, ET or something, but until now, right now, 40%.
Yeah, and that's how it happens for me too. I came in believing, a little skepticism. So I'd have to say I was about 80% believing, but now I'm down to 20. I'm maybe a little lower, but
wow,
it's pretty bad. Yeah, believing that that's my belief that I think there's something out there. I do think there's aliens out there somewhere, but I don't think they can get here. I really don't. I have a hard time with time travel. I have a hard time with multiple dimension technology. I have a hard time with cutting a hole in the universe and, having a wormhole to get here, cutting it in half, I'm not buying it. I just think that it's all theories, maybe possibilities, but I don't think it's being done. I haven't seen any evidence for it, Greg.
No, either have I. And, it's hard to go on, on that. And as far as interdimensional, I think it might be interdimensional. I think each entity, even us like humans, get their own universe, and each universe might be that dimension. And then, so I don't think there's anything else out in our universe. I just think there's other dimensions that can up and down, like it goes by scale. Say we're on the scale, right? And we're 0. It goes up, to macro. And then you go down, down to micro. So who the hell knows, man?
Yeah, that's interesting, man. I never thought of it that way. Like each species gets their own dimension, so they can't be any interaction, right? But if you find a way to go into the other dimensions, well, that changes everything.
Yep, from like I said, higher to lower to higher, man. And it goes around.
Oh well, hey, man. You just blew my mind. That's awesome. I love it.
That's something to chew on, man,
Yeah, it is. I enjoy this. When I speak with Michael from Dark Hour Paranormal, Michael Roser, we do that to each other. It's like, dude, I didn't even think of that. So I love when we have these conversations. Let me pull this back up and continue on our journey through the congressional hearing today. We're going to go for another 15 minutes or so.
This particular event, South Asia MQ9, looking at another MQ9, and what's highlighted there in that red circle is an object that flies through the screen. Unlike the previous one, this one actually shows some really interesting things that everyone thought was truly anomalous to start with. First of all, it's a high-speed object that's flying in the field of regard of 2 MQ9s. Second, it appears to have this trail behind it, all right, which at first blush, you would think that looks like a propulsion.
All right, we don't need to talk about this. This is just the anomaly that shows up on the camera. No big deal. Yeah, they're still talking about that. I want to get to that part where he blames China, though.
650 cases. Now, the report in January basically said about half of the ones at that time, about 150, were likely balloon-like or something like that. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean they're resolved.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so what? Let me walk everyone through what our analytic process looks like. We have essentially a 5-step process.
Gentile.
Right? So we get our cases in with all the data. We create a case for that event. My team does a preliminary scrub of all of those cases as they come in, just to sort out, do we have any information that says this is in one of those likely categories? It's likely a balloon, it's likely a bird, it's likely some other object, or we don't know. Then we prioritize those based off of where they are. Are they attached to a national security area? Does it show some anomalous phenomenology that is of interest? If it's just a spherical thing that's floating around with the wind and it has no payload on it, that's going to be less important than something that has a payload on it, which will be less important than something that's maneuvering, right? So there's sort of a hierarchy of...
Okay, that bothers me. I think everything should be a high priority if they're flying with impunity, whether it has a payload or not. This is a very strange comment he's making, Greg, about the orbs. What do you think?
Yeah, they've known this stuff for years. None of this is new to anybody, including us, and it should be new to them. I mean, they like he was talking about earlier, all these sensors that have been up in place for so long, and there's reports of these things coming straight out of our ocean through our atmosphere up into space. So how, and they're using the same spot each time. Like they would come in through a spot in our atmosphere and go down to our ocean, and they would leave in the same exact spot that they came in on. So what does that tell you?
Yeah,
I guess they have to know.
They do. And if I'm not going to go back to the map, but there were on both of the coasts of the United States, there was hot parts, which saying they're hot zones, they were showing with their heat. And that goes right along with all the sightings they're saying that that are happening out, over in the Caribbean, over in the Atlantic. Caribbean. Did I say Caribbean? Is that right? That's not right. In the Pacific, I meant to say. But the Pacific and along the eastern seaboard, a lot of interesting things are happening there. But of course, because that's where a lot of the populace is, and that's where, of course, they would be having the advantage if they lived in the ocean to come out, pop up whenever they want, fly into the airspace with impunity, come back and drop back into the ocean where they came from. So I don't know why that's hard to believe, but it's interesting to show that that's where most of the sightings happen. Anyway, makes sense to me. All right, let's see.
You're right on, but don't forget, a lot of that's because they're out to sea. They're practicing out at sea, but all the civilians, we're not as lucky and fortunate to go out to sea all the time. So we kept all ours over land. So it's happening both over land and water. So it's
just binning the.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut your last 2 words off, but I heard you. It's so weird. All right, I just want to get this comment from China.
We give that package to both teams. Take a look at the differences. They essentially peer review, collaborate with the rest of the sea. That's not really sufficient.
He's repeating the same thing he said earlier. Peer review, we got to get everybody to look at it. Science got to get involved, yada, yada, yada.
You all have given us, moved it up to June, July. We're going to be having that done about that time frame, and we'll be combining a whole number of reports into that one.
In July. All right.
I think we're currently sitting at a to do as we go through these special agency to investigate. Again, it becomes an SVP at that point.
Yeah, somebody else's problem.
Right.
Very good. Thank you. Yes, is it
very clever?
Is it possible that the Chinese or Russian advanced technologies could be causing some of these anomalous behaviors? And you said there seems to be some indicators. So just for us today, could you describe potential threat that might exist out there if they are foreign nexus?
China.
In order to do this research appropriately, we have to also be cognizant of what is the state of the art in development across the S&T community. What are the DARPAs of the world doing? What's the horizon scanning of emerging technologies appropriate to this subcommittee? What is happening out there? And if somebody could accelerate that capability, how would that manifest itself and what would it look like? And do those signatures match what we're seeing? Mm-hmm. There are emerging capabilities out there that in many instances, Russia and China, well, China in particular, are on par or ahead of us in some areas.
Oh.
So previously, I used to be the Defense Department's intelligence officer for science and technical intelligence. That was our job, was to look for what does all that look like. And then, my last several years, of course, in Space Command doing space. The adversary is not waiting. They are advancing, and they're advancing quickly. If I were to put on some of my old hats, I would tell you they are less risk averse at technical advancement than we are. Right? They are just willing to try things and see if it works.
Why aren't we doing that?
Capabilities that could be employed against us in both an ISR and a weapons fashion? Absolutely. Do I have evidence that they're doing it in these cases? No, but I have concerning indicators.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right, that was it.
Dude, that's some heavy stuff right there, first of all. And remember how some people used to say how it can't be China because China's the one stealing our secrets.
Yeah.
I think for 1 second that we're not playing that game as well, because it's detrimental to the United States of America. I mean, that's like the hardcore underbelly also that goes along with the UFOs. It's like shit, like stuff like DARPA's doing. DARPA, they call it the Pentagon's brain after all. So that's some weird stuff. I mean, we're doing it as well. Don't let that guy fool you.
Oh man. And if we are doing it, nobody's telling us, that's for sure. But I've been saying for a long time, and I even doubted myself at one point that it was China. I kept saying it's got to be China, because China literally is light years ahead of us in drone technology. And I'm not saying that lightly. That has been told by people in NASA. People have talked about this. It's not Greer. It's not David Wilcock talking about it. These are people that are still working there that said this. China is light years ahead of us in drone technology. Don't believe what Kirkpatrick is saying. Greg, I want to thank you for joining in. Anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I think, we hit the nail on the head of a couple good things. And yeah, I feel good about it, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time.
Dude, thank you for coming on. And I can't thank you enough. So next time, I don't know what I was going to say, but I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Rich, will you do me a favor?
All right.
Have a great evening, man.
Ooh. All right. All right, I will. He left. Nice guy, man. That was good stuff. Dorothy, too. Thank you, too, for chiming in. That's it. I'm not taking any more. Well, I can't believe you guys didn't want to come on the show and talk about it, but I didn't find anybody. I didn't go out looking for people to join the show today. I just figured you guys would want to talk, but I guess there really isn't anything to talk about, you know? I do wanted to show you the guard bot, which is why I had to let Greg go 5 minutes early. Let's look at the guard bot. These are, I guess, well, let's take a look. These are things that are watching us, spying on us, right? The guard bots. All-terrain surveillance robot. You can't hear it, so yeah, I have that at the gym. I do that with my abs, the rollerball. I don't think that's what we saw, but it sure looks like it. Well, that's not what we saw in the video, but how cool is that? Ha ha ha. You know, if you look at the design setup, and then you look at what Kirkpatrick showed us, the video, you know, when it was blown up in the small side picture, it looks like this. That's funny. Let's see if there's another one. The rover. You guys can't hear it again. Autonomously follows the route. Okay, I'm not impressed. All right, we get it. Well, we get the idea. I don't think we need to keep watching that. That's it. I don't know what you think, how you feel about these hearings that we've had. Like Dorothy said, underwhelmed. And now that they put, without blaming, they're not going to say we know it's China, but there's certain markers that tell them it's China. Told you. Told you so. Anyway, till tomorrow, we'll see what UFO Twitter world is saying tomorrow. And then maybe we'll have you guys join the show again. But you guys still had more questions that were popping in. If aliens came to Earth, David Wilcox is asking. Oh, wait, hold on. John Griffin first said, he said there is no proof anything is extraterrestrial, so they aren't going to reveal any legacy programs. No, of course not. What do people think is going to happen in these things? Not you, John, but what do people think? UFO Jesus thinks that disclosure's right around the corner. David Wilcox says, if aliens came to Earth and only wanted one rep from the planet to represent us, who would you choose besides yourself? To be serious? Elon Musk. Yeah, that's all. You're putting me on the spot. That's all I can think of. Because he's smart. He's willing to try things. He's got a lot of the hallmarks of a human. Will Carnundrum. Can I get a link? Bro. How do you not know? The link was in the show the whole time. I can't help you there, Chief. I can't help you. There were the links. I had it running across the bottom of the show on a scroll saying the link is pinned in the chat. You were right there next to it when you had to ask that question. I just don't know why you didn't use it. That's it for tonight. Hey, thank you, everybody. What a fun show. It was short. It was sweet. But I got to get going, and I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Thank you, Super Chatters. Paula Faust throwing down $2 at the end of the show. It's a super dono. Pure love coming this way through the Goof On annals. Thank you very much, Paula Faust. Mucho gusto, generoso. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Newcomers and veterans, thank you very much for giving the show a chance. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and make sure you click on the all button for notifications. Just don't hit subscribe and leave. Hit subscribe and then hit all. Redo it if you didn't do it. All right. Make sure you got it done right. Tired of being stuck at 10,850. Been there since the end of February. We've had 3 new subscribers. So they say. It's bullshit. But right? It is. I know. Yep, Lou, Jeremy, they didn't even use his terrible Mosul orb. All right, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Not 7:05, 7 p.m. We're back at the top of the hour. I don't know why I'm doing that. Maybe 7:05, who the hell knows? But we did it again. We brought it. Truthology. Yeah, Truthology for ufology. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Alien, bless yourselves, will ya? And happy birthday, Shelley.